Welcome everybody to the final whistle. I'm Matt Caddell. We are on the Bama Standard. Justin Riley, the Bama Standard, and the one and only Chris James.
What's
You
going
know
on?
everybody love Chris James, but this is the final whistle where we just talk anything, everything Bama. And how you guys doing today? Y'all doing all right?
I'm great,
Man,
man.
man, looking great, looking great. Listen, people are already fired up about this college football playoff ranking already. It's not the set in stone, version, but it kind of gave us a little bit of what we're looking forward to and an idea of what needs to happen. But nonetheless, man, we got some fired up Tide fans.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty exciting. Alabama coming in at number 6. Kind of expected, but it just really makes me think about why Pete Golden has not still put a spy on the quarterback. We should have not have lost the LSU game.
They scored on
Came back to beat us. What are your thoughts, Chris?
the first play of overtime when they scored. I said, "Oh boy!" I said, "Oh boy, he's going for the win." But that drive right there, well, that play in overtime and that last drive against Tennessee, the reason why we're sitting at 6 right now.
Yeah,
we could have put both of those games away, but didn't.
I'm still holding out hope. I'm gonna be the one that goes out on a limb and say we still find a way to get in the playoff rankings. But Bama, it is. I talked about the frustration and Bama football, but let's talk about some good things. Shout out to the USA men's soccer, and you see where I'm gonna lead to. And USA. Speaking of soccer, the women's soccer team at Bama is going to the Soccer Cup. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's it. They're in the final four.
They're in the final four. I mean, he's turned the program around, and they start off with UCLA. So kudos to Alabama's women's soccer guys. What are your thoughts? I mean, how proud are you to see the program go take off like this?
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Just seeing all sports doing their thing. Of course, we've always been a football school without question. Nobody's going to argue that fact. But women's gymnastics has always been the forefront, every single year for decades. Women's softball has been the measuring stick for women's sports, and especially in college softball. But now you got, men's basketball creeping back into the picture. You got women's basketball starting to kind of build their momentum. And here we are, women's soccer. Showing up, showing out, ran through the SEC tournament, ran through everybody in the regular season. And it doesn't look like they really had much of a test going through this tournament here. And their rewards are being paid off. So, we're a multiple sports school now. And you got to love to see that. And all the Bama haters can't stand it. But as alumni and fans, we love it.
Yeah, man. I call it the Saban burn effect because I think we have the best AD in the country, and it seems like Coach Saban, the success the football team had, it forced other teams to step it up a notch. And Greg Berman, he's awesome, man. I think he's the best AD in all of college sports, and he's turned it up. I mean, just from everything, man. And I think the last thing we need to do now is just get those guys a new arena for basketball.
Yes.
It's coming. It's coming.
It's coming, but should have been there, 2-3 years ago, you think, fellas?
Yes.
Yeah, but that COVID kind of threw everything for a wrench because we're supposed to do all these upgrades to Bryant Denny and all this stuff. Then COVID hit, it just changed.
Yeah.
Speaking of Greg Byrne, yeah, I do believe Greg's the best AD in the country, and I'm glad he had him. I think he just celebrated a birthday. So, Greg Byrne, if you're tuning in to the final whistle, happy birthday.
No doubt. I want to go back to the playoff scenario, guys. One of the things that a lot of analysts have been talking about here, Does Bama deserve that second chance? Y'all mentioned earlier, we didn't handle our business. We lost to an LSU team, but quite frankly, we had no business losing to.
Right.
If it's at their stadium, I don't care about the juju of the Bayou. We should have ran them out of the stadium. There's no question. With the talent we have, we should handle that business. We definitely should have handled Tennessee. There's no question, just based on how their season has unfolded, especially against South Carolina. But do we deserve that second chance? Arguably, we're playing our best ball right now. We finally saw a complete game against Auburn offensively. Defensively, we can talk about that later. But we're playing like Bama again. So do we deserve that chance? And what's it going to take for us to get in?
I think we do. I think it's just how we lost, man. It's not like nobody's just manhandled us. Nobody just whooped us up and down the field. And the two losses, I mean, those games could have gone either way. But what I don't understand is how people can really see how a team like Ohio State let somebody come into their house, beat them by 3 touchdowns without their best player, the Heisman Trophy candidate, running back, with a backup running back. I mean, not to say Donovan Edwards.
And he rushed for 216, I believe.
Yeah, 216 or something like that, 200 yards rushing. And I mean, and you mean to tell me Bama wouldn't let that happen? I don't care if it was the Green Bay Packers that came in. That wasn't happening.
Yeah, I agree. I think, to your point, Chris, I do think there is going to be. Boo Kerrigan, I guess he's on the committee, did come out and say, well, they asked him, could Alabama jump Ohio State? And he's already like, look, things could happen, things could change, kind of putting it out there in the air. I mean, they do those things for like controversy and ratings and draw appeal. So, I still think we need Utah to lose. I mean, we need Utah to win, beat USC, and Kansas State to beat TCU, although I think TCU, but I think we have two teams that lose. Everybody's going to be kind of knee-jerk reaction because it's the next day. And, hopefully Bama gets in, but I don't see a TCU. Even though if they lose, I don't know if that's enough for them to get kicked out. What are your thoughts? Do y'all think TCU loses? If they lose, will they still get in the playoffs? Or I don't know.
Well, as far as Ohio State, guys, we've seen this before. They have looked like world beaters all season on more than one occasion, and then they end up laying an egg and getting just boat raced out of the stadium. And they somehow, the committee is in love with them. They're infatuated with them. They put them in the playoff anyway, only to get just destroyed. Do we really want to see that again? Would they be able to go toe-to-toe with a Georgia right now? I honestly don't think so. As far as TCU, now TCU has already played Kansas State. They did escape with the win, and I do say escape. That game was kind of in doubt until late. And Kansas State does have those dudes. Deuce Vaughn is a problem. Can TCU do something about it? Now, TCU's got a very nice offense. They have Garrett Riley, drawing up some very nice plays. Nick Saban hire. And I love watching what he's doing over there, but they're very susceptible, to a loss this weekend. But guys, let's not rule out Michigan. Everybody's kind of, sweeping under the rug and acting like this is going to be an easy win. Well, Purdue's not a slouch now. And Michigan always is due for that Harbaugh game where they blow it and they really had no business blowing it. So they're very susceptible too. So, we can have some chaos and Bama could be in.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that too. I just think what hurts Bama is right now we just don't have like a Penn State or somebody in the top 10 that's on our win category. But everybody knows if Bama's healthy, they're gonna the committee, I think, I don't know. I don't know if they're playing with us, putting us at number 6 because they know that's going to be the big controversial topic. Break the internet and have Ohio State at 5 and maybe switch it up come on Sunday. But it is what it is. But I'm like I said, I'm still just furious that we lost to LSU, and it was just little things that I know Coach Saban had that speech after the Iron Bowl talking about the naysayers and stuff like that, but the team stuck together. But like Coach Saban, like I need you to be chewing out your coaches that way we don't lose at least one of those games to that point, like I don't care. Like I'm not gonna just be on the sideline and be so quiet and calm and be the CEO, COO and not get involved when I'm the GOAT and I see only thing we gotta do is put a spy on Jay Daniels.
No, that's it.
We can easily win this game. And like, so to me, that's the more frustrating part. Like, I feel like you got to put egos aside, and at the end of the day, you want to win the game. So, it's just frustrating thinking about that we lost to LSU. I mean, the Tennessee game, it is Tennessee was rolling home. Everybody wanted Tennessee to win. The fix was in, as you can tell by the refs. But the LSU game to me is just really, I don't know. It's just really, I'm not even trying to think about it because it gets me so upset. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
Eric Bowden, you bring that up. Eric Bowden in the chat is saying, the way A&M handled LSU that night looks bad on Bama's resume. Is that a dark spot on Alabama's resume when we're trying to negotiate getting in? I've been thinking about that.
I don't think so because, I don't think it does. If anything, it makes LSU look like that. I don't think it has anything to do with Alabama. Alabama just lost on stupid X's and O's and scheme and not being physical. And we lost. But I think the committee putting us at 6, they know that a healthy Alabama team, if they have their coordinators rolling, they can beat any team in the country. So I don't even think I think they're weighting Alabama as like more so potential and not necessarily, who they have ranked in the top 25 of the final playoff committee poll. What are your thoughts, Chris?
Yeah, I just think that the committee kind of threw Ohio State a bone tonight. But if you look at it, man, in a one-game scenario, you ask anybody around the country who they don't want to play, they're going to say Alabama. Because, you give Nick Saban a month to prepare. We already know we could beat anybody. It's just if you get Bama's best, it's not going to be pretty for you. And if Bama gets in, man, it's going to be, it's going to be a world of chaos, man. It's going to be a world of chaos. But I just think that we dug a huge hole for ourselves when we just kind of I don't know, that LSU game, that whole game just felt kind of weird, man. It was like they were trying to give us the game, but we kept giving it right back. And it was like I never seen it. It was just Jaden Daniels made it look too easy, when he was scrambling, and that bothered me. I was like, why are we playing man but don't have a spy?
It infuriated me.
And we didn't see any zone, no type of zone blitzes. We didn't see corner blitzes. We they ran. They pretty much did what they wanted to do. Late in the game. It's like the last time I felt like that, I kind of felt kind of helpless. And the last time I felt like that was a championship game against Georgia. And when they started running the ball late in that game, that was the first time in a long time that I felt helpless as a watching the Bama game, man. and
Golden.
that's worrisome. That's very worrisome.
Pete Golden, man.
It's
I'm
worrisome.
trying to be calm. I'm trying to be zen and Musa and all this stuff. But I'm like, Pete Golden, you keep calling the same cover 2 shell defense. Guys are out of position. We're playing high. We're not physical. I mean, guys are just blocked. It's just all around bad defense. I'm sorry. Like, for you to Coach Saban and allow that, to me, that's the most frustrating part.
But those guys, yeah.
Here's a good little point that Jeff Rushing made as far as the chaos. K-State didn't have their starting quarterback in that first game against TCU either. So
dog Walker, yeah, he's a dog, man. Is Howard or something like that? Howard.
I have to look it up, but hey, that's a good point right there. So that could further our call.
He's a better passer than Martinez, way better, much better.
Yeah, you guys bring up a very good point. You know, in our losses, it's like we refuse to put a spy on those mobile quarterbacks.
Pete Golden, man,
or have any
get paid under the table, man. He working for Vegas, man.
He's working for Vegas. That's what it is.
He working for the mob. He's doing an inside job. I'm telling you, this is what we do on the final whistle. We give it to you raw.
yeah, man. But I think that Utah. I think it still could be possible because it's not out of the realm of possibility for Utah to beat USC Friday night, and then K-State put something on TCU, jump on TCU Saturday morning. Like that's.
But we need K-State to like beat the dogs out of.
The way they've been beating folks around here, man. The way they've been beating folks the last few weeks, it's very possible now. Because TCU, I've seen them on the ropes against Texas Tech, against West Virginia, against Texas. They've been on the ropes way too many times, man, for them to lose and then to still get in the playoffs. It's not like they've been dominating. I mean, you look at them. Who's ranked in the Big 12 now?
Oh, TCU, Kansas State, right?
Besides K-State in Texas,
yeah, that's a very good point.
Like the Big 12 is very weak right now. Kansas is 6-6. They barely won that one. I looked at the four blowout wins that they had. The 4 blowout wins that they had were against teams that were 500 or worse. That were 500 or worse. So and they played a lot of games close. Like they had, I think 4, 5, 6 digit games. So they have no room for error.
Yeah, they don't. But you know what? I'm holding out hope. I know it's a lot of doom and gloom Bama fans out there. I'm here to bring the positive vibes and listen. We're gonna find a way to get in. It's gonna happen. My question is, if Utah beats USC and TCU gets handed it to them, do you put both Ohio State and Bama over TCU? Or do you just put like a Bama in over Ohio State? What are y'all thoughts? How do you think that's going to work out?
I think you put them both in, no doubt. I just think Bama's playing better ball than Ohio State. Ohio State hasn't really done anything impressive to me. I mean, they had games where they eked out, like against a Northwestern, who's one of the worst teams in the country. I don't see it. And like I said earlier, anytime that they've gotten embarrassed like that at home, as soon as they get to the playoffs, they pick up where they left off and they end up getting run out of the building again. Maybe it's the crimson color glasses I have on or contacts in my case. But and as far as a marketing standpoint, people know that Bama's going to bring that money.
Yeah,
I agree.
But if you want to talk about who's playing the best ball right now, it's arguably USC. I mean, they're turning it up, and they're not the same team I felt like that lost to Utah the first time. I think at that point they were still trying to find themselves. Well, buddy, they found themselves in a big way. And, of course, Notre Dame handed them a lot of gifts the other night, and Notre Dame still had opportunities to make that a game. But there's only a small window, that you can leave open for so long. Yeah, that's true.
I think also college football needs to kind of do what like college basketball does and kind of have like rating systems where your strength of schedule goes into effect, your opponents, everything kind of goes in effect when it comes to tournament time and seeding. And I think that's something college football could use. But y'all still want to continue talking about the playoffs? Because I want to talk about Bama basketball. I want to talk about something exciting real quick. I mean, kudos.
We can go to that. I mean, unless y'all want to hit Iron Bowl real quick. I know a lot of people are still celebrating.
Let's do it. It's so many things to talk about Bama.
I mean, 3 in a row, gentlemen. When's the last time Bama's had 3 in a row against Auburn?
Felt
right,
good.
Man. Like it's that's how I knew it was time they were going to get rid of Harsin, man. It's like because it's always that 1 year, man, that we're going in. Auburn has nothing to lose, and they give us a scare in the Iron Bowl. It's like I hate that game, man. I personally hate that game because it's like for a long time. It's like for a long time. It's like we didn't have that passion or we didn't care about that game as much as we should. The player as much as Auburn did.
Yeah, you're right. And it's just a weird feel, going in. Like you said, our mindset hasn't been the typical Bama mindset the entire year, even when we had plenty to play for. So you got to ask your question, going into this game, were our guys going to get up for a rivalry game that didn't really mean anything other than just beating your rival, just based on what you've seen so far. And yeah, to your point, Cadillac had them guys ready. They were ready to run through a brick wall. They're ready to donate a kidney. Didn't matter what was asked of them. They're going to do it, for Cadillac. And so that was one of my concerns going into this game. But I felt like if we were Bama, we were going to do our thing. So that was my thought going in. But what we did, I was impressed. Offensively, and I know you guys can speak on this. This is the most balanced we've seen a Bill O'Brien offense the entire year. I think he has one of those games like once a year, like against Georgia last year in the SEC championship. And then this year, I guess he saved it for the Iron Bowl. But guys, I saw a lot of innovative plays. I saw a balanced team. We were able to run. We were able to pass. We were actually drawing up plays we hadn't seen before. We're getting a lot of people involved. We weren't just bound and determined come hell or high water to get it to favorites. We're utilizing everybody. Case in point, Robbie Oats.
Oh,
why haven't we utilized him before now?
I don't know, man. He played a heck of a game. Robbie Oats could get a lot more touches. Law, Isaiah Bond. I mean, that goes to the coaching, man. Like, it goes back to Saban. I know Saban wants to be a COO, and he's been doing it so long. But, like, when the guys aren't, as a manager, when the guys aren't coming apart, you have to step in and make sure that, help lead and guide them. Because, obviously, we should not be having 2 losses on our table with all this talent on the team. I'm sorry. It's not making sense. So I mean, I put it on Saban. I mean, it's his team. Like, he's got to be the one to, interject himself and say, no, we're not doing this. It's just football, Pete. Just put a spot on the quarterback and we'll be fine. But I don't know.
One thing that I was excited about, Bryce finally used his legs.
Oh, thank God.
You muted yourself, Chris.
You're on mute, Chris.
Well, I'm sorry that he was hurt. He couldn't take any licks on his shoulder. That's why he was running.
But he could have either slid or gotten out of bounds or something like that. Because, man, there were so many times that there was so much green ahead of him that could have either translated to a score or an extra 6 or 7 yards here or there, maybe a first down. I'm not telling him to go out there and get himself wrecked. But I think if he goes all out, commits to it, then it definitely changes the trajectory of a game tremendously.
Mm-hmm. If he uses legs like Jaden Daniels uses his, or Caleb Williams uses his, or even a Stetson Bennett, the way they use their legs, you look at all the quarterbacks in that's in a playoff hunt right now. The quarterbacks use their legs when they have to, even though they may not be the fleetest of foot. Michigan quarterback used his legs when he had to. TCU's quarterback, I mean, he's more of a passer, but when they have to, they're not scared to put it all on the line and go get those extra yards that are needed.
And another thing that kind of makes me upset with Bryce. One of my critiques with Bryce is when we're running the RPO game, like he never carries out the play fake. Like I'm like, you're not pulling anybody. Obviously, when you just hand it off and stand there, like to me, that's bad habits that a good OC, a good quarterbacks coach should address that in the film room. Be like, hey, you gotta carry that play fake and pull that linebacker or get the defensive flow with you. That way we can open up the running game. And he was able to do it Saturday. I mean, I think one drive he ran RPO, he didn't move. And then after that, he came back and took like at least 2 or 3 steps to kind of get to show the fake. And it just opened up our offense. So, like I said, Alabama has so much improvement.
What about
a lot of plays on the field that it shouldn't have been this hard.
As far as improvement goes, guys, what about the offensive line? That offensive line has improved tremendously. Last year, we give up 43 sacks, and that's cut down tremendously this year. Matter of fact, Saturday, we didn't give up a sack at all. That offensive line was playing. Matter of fact, I mean, they were in such a rhythm, even when Seth McLaughlin went down, inconsistent Darian Dalcourt comes in, we don't miss a beat. He even got his game, getting to that second level and was doing a lot more. So, shout out to those guys. And, our running backs, man, we got some dudes back there and we finally used them. Jace McClellan, I feel like, is the most overlooked guy we have in that backfield. He's a player. I mean,
he was a dog, man. And Rodell, when he gets
Rodell is a dog, man. Like, you just look at his build. It's like, feed this man. Give this man the ball, man.
Please. I mean, nobody wants to touch him, but I do want to ask you a question, based on what you're saying about Bryce, and I think you mentioned the injury. Some people have said that, Bryce Young's injury may have derailed the season. Do y'all necessarily agree with that?
I do. Because despite the defense, but we had, like, we were supposed to put up way more points on LSU than what we did. And in the Tennessee game, we still left some meat on the bone. They can't stop a nosebleed, and we still left some meat on the bone. Like that last drive.
Should have ran the ball.
Yeah, even though we didn't run it, but that pass that he gives in the hand on third down, I think that was that drop right there. Like our season it was like our season dropping out of his hands on that third down drop.
That's huge. I mean, Matt, from a wide receiver standpoint, does that hurt the development of the receivers? I know they've been the most criticized group on the field all year. Do you think that had anything to do with their development?
Yeah, I think so, because Bryce wasn't practicing like he should, and for about 2 or 3 weeks, and I think that threw the timing off. I think that was frustrated. Bill O'Brien, he was calling very bland plays. I think Bryce was changing the plays. I think it was a lot of that was going on for about 2 or 3 weeks that we weren't used to. And like I said, I think Saban had to interject to get these things ironed out. And I think he finally did, leading up to the Iron Bowl. So, yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. Like, I just don't understand like how we got these losses. Even though we played Tennessee game, I might chalk it up. But 41 seconds, we're like on the 30. We called 3 straight passes.
Don't remind me.
God, that pisses me off.
And then to show how we don't have any awareness, you would think, okay, let's just run the ball. Will Riker's kind of say, let's run the ball towards the middle of the field.
At least
That
put
way
in position.
Straight up middle field goal, nothing from the right hash or the left hash, right down the pipe. We milk the clock and kick a field goal and get out of Knoxville with a win somehow. But it is what it is, man.
I don't understand how we don't run the ball not one time. Like, I'm still puzzled. I wanted to ask Bill O'Brien what was on his mind. Like, dude, like not 6 straight passes, 6, not one run.
And you didn't see that against Auburn
all night.
Hey, it begs me to ask the question against Auburn: who was calling plays, Bill O'Brien or Bryce? Did Bill O'Brien get one of those little fake play school My First headsets to make it look like he was doing something in that little booth?
Probably Joe Cox.
I think Saban had to interject because what I heard, it was some animosity between Bryce and Bill, plays being called, Bryce changing the plays, all this stuff. I think they had to Saban probably had to come into Jesus meeting before the Iron Bowl and was like, listen, these are the plays. Bill, you need to open up the playbook, get creative. Bryce, we're going to call these plays. Here go the checks, and let's roll with it. And it looked seamless. Like, you watched the game Saturday, we weren't waiting to know 3 seconds left on the time clock to hike the ball and things like that. So
we had rhythm. We were in rhythm.
We had rhythm. We were aggressive offensively. We were creative. Bryce was running the ball. I mean, we were playing to what the defense was giving us. Like, they were bailing. I saw Bryce check to a little quick out. It was like perfect. I was like, where has this been all year?
Yeah. So. But that goes back to me thinking that something was going on because we had no offensive identity in a lot of these games. It was like, what the hell? In a lot of these games, we had zero identity. Like, are we a running team? Are we a power running team? Are we a finesse team? Are we a passing team? Like, what kind of team are we? Because a lot of those plays really didn't make sense. And it makes you wonder if Bryce changed them or what was happening. You know what I'm saying?
I heard some things that it was some things with Bryce and Bill. I think Bill was just set in his ways, and I think Bryce was hurt, and I think he was kind of trying to press and make plays and calling his own plays or changing the plays or whatever. But we finally looked like an Alabama offense Saturday. So I know this is what late in the season is December, but dang.
Yeah. No, yeah. Offense, I'll give them an A for that. Defense, I think we've kind of explained that, but to give up 318 yards rushing, guys.
Pete Golden, man.
There's no explaining that away. And the thing was, Auburn was probably running 3-4 plays at the most, and they were just changing sides to where they ran the play. But
those quarterback runs, man. Whew.
Pete Golden has, when he's calling the defensive plays, like, he overcomplicates and overthinks it. He makes average quarterbacks look like All-Americans versus us. Like, when Hendon Hooker played Georgia, he looked average. But when he played us, he's looking like a Heisman candidate. But Jay Daniels plays us, he's looking like all world. Like, Pete Golden, like, stop overthinking it. They run it. Like, if Auburn is not going to pass the ball, get out the freaking cover 2. Just put 5 in the box. Like, run cover 3. Like, you obviously you have no threat of this high-powered offense. Obviously, they're just trying to run the ball. This coming. Like, just put 5 in the box. Like, but yeah, he still calls the same cover 2 shell that makes no sense. He calls the same weak blank linebacker blitz that doesn't work. You blitz with Totu, who never gets to the quarterback and gets blocked. Like,
don't get me started on him.
He goes to the wrong gap. That's the problem. And he closes his eyes.
I've never seen a gap so big that a linebacker just step in and hit the guy why are we diving at ankles? Why are we not filling that gap? Why are we staying on blocks and run? It's horrible, man. Like I know Saban believes in that loyalty stuff, but
For
man,
that, man. Not for
that
no
guy would have been
loss.
bitched along. I would have thrown one of those freshmen, Sean. I don't care if they didn't know what to do or not. At least see ball, get ball, gap control, because we're gap control defense.
I
Supposed to
think
be.
that's Saban's biggest regret. He might not want to admit it, but he
Going
probably
against him, man, that set us back from a
he should
physicality
have
standpoint.
interjected. I know he likes to talks about everybody else and all that stuff, but you're the head man. You got to take blame if you're the head man. Because I look at it, if I'm in that situation and I see this stuff on the sideline, all the fans see it. Like, listen, give me the headset. I'm calling the plays. That's why I respect Kirby, because Kirby, you can tell when Schumann or Muschamp are getting drugged by offense, Kirby's already prepared. He knows what defense to call. And I feel like that's what Saban's got to be able to do. Like, I know you want to be a COO. You've been doing it for so long. You won all these national championships. But you could do that when you have a Pruitt, a freaking Sark, a Lane Kiffin. You could kind of do that COO, but you cannot do it when you have a Pete Golden and a Bill O'Brien. I think the defense kind of lost confidence, kind of in, what Pete Golden was calling, or like they were just kind of going through their motions. Because look at that Jaden Daniels touchdown. Like, we were so out of position. We were high. We're soft. They ran a jet sweep, and we had two guys. We had Helms and another guy go to the jet sweep. Like, we're not even like, it's not like
we can't even play the option. We can't even play the option right.
Yeah, I'm like, it was just little things that we were so bad at.
We're very undisciplined. Very undisciplined.
So it's just very frustrating that you would see this on film and go out and teach the same technique, do the same practice drills, and come out and expect this different results. So.
You did mention something earlier, Chris, as far as young guys. We had some young guys playing this past Saturday, and when they were in, our defense looked better. You had Deontay Lawson. He's going to be a star. But then Sean Murphy was in there too. When both those guys were in the lineup, a lot of things changed in that defense. So I'm thinking this bowl game, we may need to see a little bit more of these guys. Hey, even Curtis Perry got in up front, and he was making a difference.
That's why I think Pete Golden has no clue about personnel. Like, I don't think he knows what type of talent he has, and he just gets lazy and predictable and just calls the same crap that think like it's gonna work. And no, it's play the young guys. Like, sorry, if Totu's not good, get his what out. Put somebody in there that does their job. Like, if you're gonna have the mantra around the locker room, do your job. Well, shoot, if they're not doing their job, take them out. Like, don't keep playing them. It's,
I hope.
Like I mean, we say Belichick, Saban, but if Belichick, if you're not doing your job, they're gonna pull you out. Like, sorry, do your job. Like, it's just so frustrating to me, man.
That's funny here. RMF tied. Guarantee you wouldn't know how to hit a hole, even if it was a fuzzy peach there waiting for him.
He wouldn't. RMF tied.
Man, that's. But the thing about it, man, it's like those young guys are hungry, man, and it's like these guys, the older guys, they kept
prima donnas.
They complacent, man. Worried about self. That's why I said we have dog. People question the dog on the team. We have dogs, but it's in those younger guys, man. Just wait till you see Campbell, Jahad Campbell,
man, and Jeremiah Alexander,
and Sean Murphy.
Golden. He ain't gonna know what to do with all that. Talent.
Man,
he can recruit him in, but he sure ain't gonna know what to do.
I am elated that they let Hugh Freeze come back. So now we can go get Jeremy Pruitt.
Gotta go get Jeremy Pruitt.
Speaking of recruits, what y'all think about this receiver we just got
Campbell.
my
I
God.
saw him. I go on this one first. I saw him because a team that we played, Columbia Lake City, out of Lake City, Florida, Columbia High. They played them the first game of the year in Buckholz. That's the school Hamilton went to. And they beat them. But man, I saw that guy on film. Man, he has like another gear, dude. When I say he's fast, he's about 6'2", and can run. That's what we've been missing. Like we have like big receivers, power receivers. Holden can run. He can run. Holden can run, but Holden has too many drops. But Hamilton can fly. He's the type like we've been missing those Henry Rugg type guys that can just outrun everybody. You throw it up, and you can go get it. And
Hey,
I think he's
that 2-2 though, he reminds me of somebody else who played back in the day.
DJ Hall, baby.
Jay Hall, like when I
DJ
first
Hall.
saw him, I saw one of his highlights, and he was like he was beat man coverage, and he caught like a go round. I was like, man, he got the 2-2 on. I'm like, man, he looked eerily like a DJ Hall, big play guy. So, but hearing those guys interview, I think this 23 class, I know we're talking about recruiting. I think these guys are hungry, and they are looking to win championships, get back. They want to be the class to bring it back, and we just got to make sure we have the coaches and the culture to bring championships, because it's not that hard with all this talent.
I mean, just to tell you, how hungry these new guys are. If anybody missed our show earlier, the Bama Standard, we have Miles McVay, 6'8", monster offensive lineman. Asked him straight up, who are you looking forward to going against the most, both on your team and then in conference play? And he said, well, I'm actually enrolling in December, so I'm going to be there for bowl prep. And you know who his answer was? First, Will Anderson. Second, Dallas Turner. I was like, whoo, hold on. I want to hear this young man talk. And he's like, no, man, I don't mean disrespect. I'm not talking bad about him. I was like, no, dude, I understand what you're saying. You're a dog, and you want to go against the best guy who are going to challenge you the most. So when he said that, I was like, okay, this group gets it. And
to come to Alabama, you kind of have to be that type of you got to be wired different. Like the recruits that Bama get, especially in this 23 class, all these guys are ultra competitive dogs. You got to have that confidence. If you're kind of like not as confident, then Alabama's not the place for you. You got to be an absolute maniac dog that wants to come in and compete against the best, like McVay said. So
I know we still got to talk about, the basketball team, but real quick,
question down here.
Yeah, about Brian.
Yeah, as far as
Brian,
gone,
man, first round.
You think Brian Burns is going to go?
Oh, that boy's good, man.
I know he's good. I just think he could use one more year of polish. But
I think Malachi more probably come back, but Branch is gone, man. Branch has too many good plays.
Yeah,
tight cover. He's a tight coverage, great tackler, open the field. Branch is
stuff not getting called in the NFL.
Branch is the unsung hero of the defense, man. Because
absolutely.
That dude, he may be the defensive MVP this year. It may be Brian Branch.
I got him the first safety out the board, in my opinion. I think he'll probably go top 20, 25. I think a team like the Patriots.
Oh, my God. Did you mention the Steelers pairing him with Minka?
There's a lot of teams that can use Branch. You look
especially at Dallas.
Minka, could you imagine him being with Minka and Levi Wallace, having that group together, especially those guys to kind of groom him? Being in Pittsburgh, where they teach you how to play defense, man.
Man, that's going straight to New England.
New England.
He'll be in Bill Belichick's system. He'll be
them old secondary, man. They looking for guys like a Brian Branch.
Definitely the Bills too.
The Bills. Oh my God.
Micah Hyde. Yeah.
Well, on that same note, do you feel like if we don't get to the playoffs, that anyone from this group is going to opt out? Bryce, Will, even Jameer. Out of that group, will anybody opt out? Personally, I think they all play. But then again, you got two of those guys who are guaranteed right now top 5 pick, even projected number 1 on some boards. I can understand if they didn't.
Will has too much dog in him. I don't think you remember that last year. I think it was last year or something. They were talking about it, but I think Will definitely will play. He loves it too much, and Bryce is too much of a competitor too. I don't see nobody out and out. I really, because we don't have the thing about this year. It wasn't that we had selfish. We've seen what that looks like when you have selfish players like last year and other years, but it wasn't due to selfishness. It was due to toughness, more so,
and like
coaching
and bad coaching.
Yeah, like we're not developing at the rate that we once were, man. It's like I feel like we got guys coaching positions that they're really not. That's not their best position to coach. Like I feel like Freddie should be a linebackers coach. That's what he did all those years. He's a dog. He needs to be in that middle coaching. That's when I found out he was a D line coach. I was like, whoa, Freddie's a linebacker coach, the DC all the way. He was a quarterback on the field, and I felt like he should be coaching linebackers, and Pete Golden should be coaching secondary. Like he's not a linebackers coach. Like Kirby had to learn how to coach linebackers. Pruitt had to learn how to coach linebackers. But it seems like he hasn't quite caught up to Pete yet.
No, because when I watch practice drill, they hitting the freaking sled with their hands. I'm like, hit somebody.
I say just move Pete to a permanent, recruiting coordinator, and let Sal Sunseri come back to being on the field coach. Because when Sal Sunseri was moved off the field, things started changing a little bit.
You gotta have coach. And that's what I know. We talk about Bama, but you look at it, Georgia. Kirby has coaches that get in players' tail and develop them, and you gotta have that type of culture in your program. And I think Coach Saban's gonna have to address it. He's gonna have to change some things up, bring Pruitt back, let him be the D coordinator, co-D coordinator, let Pete, hold my clipboard. And just get somebody, a new OC, somebody that can sauce it up, as Mike McCoy would say. I think we'll be fine.
Well, y'all said development earlier. Nobody is being developed better than Bama basketball right now. And man, I can't, guys, I have to admit, my Final Four bracket is already filled out, and Bama's in it.
I got Bama going championship.
This is a different team. Last year, we really had the talent to get there, but for some reason, it just didn't connect. But this year, Nate Oats has got these guys on a different level, and he's got these young guys who are coming in.
Nate said he told me he was going to turn the roster over. You remember when he said that? He told him he was going to bring some guys in.
That's what I love about Nate Oats. I got to give him
he's a real man. He's raw and uncut, and he tells the truth.
He tells it like it is. He's like, I love how he told those guys, like, if you're not going to defend, you're not going to play. Like, simple. Like, he does not BS you. Like, you're going to have to come in and play. And that's, I kind of want Saban to get like that. Like, just, you're going to have to be a dog. You're going to have to be effort. You're going to have to be competitive if you want to play, And the coaches, if you want to coach, you're going to have to, put together these schemes and develop these guys. That way you can have these titles and no seniority. I'm not losing 2 more games again to these simple offenses. I don't know. But yeah, kudos to Nate Oats.
Man, and it wasn't just one big win. I mean, you beat Michigan State and North Carolina. Historically, the top teams, the Blue Bloods, both in the same weekend. Not many people say they can do that.
UConn's a blue blood too, almost.
Yeah, but
UConn's been a thorn in our side, man. God.
Yeah, since that Elite 8 run, man, I'm still bitter about that crap. We should have beat them.
Have we played them again since that Elite 8? We played them once, didn't we? Did we play them again?
I don't think.
Oh no.
I don't think we have. But
I think we were gonna play them, but we ended up playing Maryland instead. They were I think it was a playing game, and I think Maryland beat them or something. It was something crazy. We were going to play them.
Yeah,
but
this
the difference is The difference between this year and last year is number one, Sears. What Sears and Brandon Miller bring to this team is Sears was a 19 points per game guy at Ohio last year. He came in and he picked up right where he left off.
Sure did.
People thought that he couldn't do it in the ACC, but he's proven otherwise. Brandon Miller is as good as advertised, a top 5 pick. And for him to go 4, I think he was 4 for 21, and for us to still win with him going 4 for 21, that says a lot about our team. Clowney was a pleasant surprise, 6'10" guy to South Carolina.
Griffin.
Bidiaco has put some weight on, some strength and weight.
I like him.
He put on the absolute clinic, in my opinion.
Rylan Griffin coming out the bench. He would have started on any other Bama team, Rylan Griffin. And wait till we get Dominique Wells back. So,
jeez.
Bama going to the ship. I got Bama in Kansas in that.
I like Bidiaco, guys. Last year,
I think. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say last year, I kind of saw the glimpses of how good he was going to be, but I don't think he just had that confidence yet. I don't think he trusted himself yet. This year, different mindset altogether. I mean, he's doing his thing. I like this kid, and I think everybody's feeding off of each other. You got a group that is playing together, and it's not me ball. It's a team concept instead of everybody doing their own thing. And these guys want to win a championship. I mean, I just feel it early on.
You got straight dogs and killers on your team.
I want to see how we do against Houston next weekend.
Yeah,
that's going to be a dog fight.
Because Houston is good, man. But we have, talent wise, it's not too many teams that is deeper. Man, we really could run 11, 12 guys out there, and for Miles to be like the 12th man on the bench.
It's insane looking at the bench.
He has to learn, man. That dude has to take care of the ball, man. He's a turnover machine. Like, he has to learn when, like, okay, other years we need you to score, but not anymore. We don't need you to score anymore. And we just need you to rebound, defend, and be a facilitator. But those crazy threes and all that other stuff, man. Take care of the ball, man.
That's it.
Hard. You're gonna play.
But yeah, we got our work cut out for us. I mean, we got Houston, got Gonzaga, and then when we open up SEC play, man, it's no
Houston,
joke.
Memphis, then Gonzaga.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Houston, yeah. But SEC Memphis play, guys. We get Kentucky and Arkansas back to back. If we can come out of that.
But I'm not worried about that, man. We're battle tested, man. Tennessee's tough. Point blank, it boils down to turnovers. When we take care of the ball, we win. When we turn it over, we don't look,
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is fundamentals.
Turnovers in the first, what half? Was it the first half? Against UConn? How many times we turned the ball over against UConn?
Too many.
It was ridiculous, man.
Yeah, fundamentals, that's what killed us last year. But it looks like it's been cleaned up, so it remains to be seen. But yeah, man. But yeah, still, that's a big deal. That is a huge deal for Alabama basketball program. That's something to build on, and can't, like I said, don't remember the last time we did something like that. And we've had some guys come through here, we've had some teams come through here, but I feel like we got something special.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're gonna Final Four bus.
Since we're talking about Alabama sports, let's talk about the other side. We're talking about the things that look good. Let's talk about the things that disappoint you as a Bama fan, as an alum. I feel like the women's basketball, man. I feel like I think it's time for a new change. I'm sorry.
I thought they were going to turn the corner. They hit the portal when they got some girls, and they had
they were going to be
5 starters returning or 4 starters returning. They went and got some. I was like, okay.
And then we lay eggs, and I'm like, I'm sorry. It's just you're getting the same results. I think we need to make some changes. I'm sorry. Kristen Curry seems like a nice lady, but I don't think she's what we need in order to propel our program to the next level. I'm looking at South Carolina. I'm looking at Don Staley. And if we can't even get near that, like I'm sorry, like we gotta move on. And I feel like the softball team has been kind of like they kind of disappointed me the past couple of years too. So they gotta step their game up. I know the gymnastics team got a new coach, so I'm excited to see her. But yeah, man, women's basketball got to step up, and softball team, man, y'all got to win a championship. You got
It's coming. It's coming. Hey, people in the chat are asking for some of the former basketball players to be guests on here. I know a lot of them would definitely love to talk. RMF Tide has mentioned Trevor Relevant.
I have to get my guy Richard Hendricks on here.
Yeah. Man, that dude, I loved watching him play back in the day. God, he was so good.
He was a double-double, walking double-double, man.
No doubt.
Erwin Dudley.
Oh, yeah. Erwin Dudley would be glad to come in. Chuck Davis wants to come on. A lot of those guys, Kennedy Winston, they'll be glad to sit down and talk hoops anytime. And we got some guys. Now, as far as getting Robert Ory, that's going to take some work.
Pull some strings, man. What happened? You said what happened to the cornerbacks playing safety? Geno Smith, Xavier, Eddie. That's when the defense could cover ground. Yeah, looking at that, man. That's why I felt like Terrion Arnold should have been a safety from the start. I think he'll be an All-American safety.
Again, I agree. Terrion Arnold should be our Eddie Jackson, but we have a Pete Golden that I don't think he understands personnel, or he doesn't have the creative gene or mindset or all to understand that. He's just set in his ways. Nobody has told. I'm like, nobody has came up to him and be like, bro, you need to do this and that and that and that and that. But I don't know. He's just.
It's crazy. I've always said that 2, 10, and 9 must have something on Saban.
Can they discover like
I just think it's
OnlyFans page or something?
Golden scheme makes no sense. Like it's like he plays from a point of view of being trying to cover all this stuff, and like you're not taking nothing away from the team. Like it's like one thing about Belichick and the Patriots, like they're gonna make you play left-handed. That's kind of what he's known for. They're gonna take away what you do good. If you're right-handed, they're gonna take away what you do good. And Pete Golden doesn't do that. He calls the same scheme that makes no sense. Like he's not taking away what teams do well. Like you knew LSU, Jay Daniels, quarterback draw. He's gonna run, not throw the ball that much, but he didn't take that away. Like he just continued to stay in his ways that made no sense. And we get beat. So, and he don't understand personnel. He don't know how to put guys in the scheme to let them guys go out and make plays. Like I don't know. What are you gonna say, Chris?
I wonder if he's dyslexic because the time he should have been mush rushing was against LSU, but he chose to do that against Tennessee and hand the hooker and just let him sit back there and pick him apart. If you're gonna mush rush and make somebody throw it, wouldn't it be Jaden Daniels?
Bruh. He has no clue. I think he's getting paid.
Round peg, square hole, sir.
Bro, I think he's getting paid somehow.
I don't know, man, but
because he got
paid to sabotage our programming. But go get Glenn Schumann, man. Go get throw the bank at D'Amico Ryans. I know it's impossible, but
with that,
no emotion. You can see it on the sideline. Like he ain't chewing nobody out. He calling the same stupid cover 2 defense that don't work. You keep putting 10 out there. Like 10 is not good. That's if you take 10 if you take him and put him on the outside, then our defense actually what you're trying to call actually works. But you got to have a middle linebacker in the middle that knows what they're doing. Like our defense could be like the San Francisco 49ers, but difference is you got a D'Amico Ryans and you got a Pete Golden. D'Amico understands personnel and he teaches guys how to go out there and play, be effective, physical, all that stuff. Whereas you got a Pete Golden that has no clue. So,
man, we got some trolls in this chat tonight.
Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all joining. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going
USC.
I never talk bad to a guest, Southern hospitality. But
gotta have a thumper at middle
hey,
linebacker.
Hey,
gotta have somebody smart.
But the thing about it, though, man, I mean, we brought this upon ourselves, so we got to take what comes with it.
That is true.
Got to take it in stride, man.
Take it in stride.
Got to take it in stride. LSU owns Bama.
No,
You don't have the definition of own. Right. The definition of own is winning 15 in a row in a series.
Right. Just like these Tennessee fans who were saying,
like what we do to Arkansas every year, what we do to Mississippi State, we own those teams. We own LSU. LSU won for the first time since 2019, and then 2010 before that, 2011 before that. You can't. That's no. Tennessee owns Bama. Come on, man.
1 out of 16 years is not ownership.
Let me leave you with this. Tennessee has beaten Bama once since the George W. Bush administration.
Woo. iPhones weren't even out then.
And then LSU fans go look up Alabama's record in Baton Rouge. Like,
I was still putting creases in my jeans.
Putting the stay flow in there.
You know what I'm saying? Stand them up.
Taking it up, putting that stay flow.
I was still wearing the long white tees, man, with the fitted hats.
Man, well, guys, we've been here for about an hour. Tell the fans, especially who are new to your show, what to expect from you guys going forward. I just want to jump on for the first episode, but going forward, you guys, this is your ship. So tell the fans what to expect. I got people in the chat here asking for guests, basketball, football. What you tell them what you got in store for them.
You're gonna get a mix. You're gonna get a mixture of like Marty and McGee, along with a little Stephen A.
Oh, which one of y'all Stephen A?
Shannon and Skip.
Skip. Let's go, Skip.
Get your yak.
Skip.
You know what I'm saying? Jalen and Jacoby. You're gonna get a little bit of all of that, man.
But I think at the end of the day, like you're
gonna
yeah, you're gonna get a lot of like things you want to talk about. It's gonna be, Bama, basketball, just kind of all the sports and recruiting, NFL draft, coaching, X's and O's, football stories. But I think we're just going to try to cover everything. Bama. We talked about soccer. We talked about women's basketball, softball. I think it's going to get everything just regarding Alabama program. It's going to be fun, interactive, and thanks for joining all the fans out there. And
thank y'all.
See us next week. We're gonna keep this thing rolling.
If y'all have any suggestions, folks, in the live chat, first of all, hit that like button if you hadn't done so already. We've had a lot of people on the live the entire night, so we need the likes to equal that. If you're not yet subscribed, please do help our channel out, man. This is y'all's channel, so be proud of it. But if you have any ideas, email us thebamastandard@gmail.com and in the subject line, reference this show, and leave your ideas. What do you want to see these guys talk about? Who do you want to see come on? These guys play with some dudes now. So if you want them on, you want to hear some great stories, reach out to them. Oh yeah. How can people find y'all on social media?
We got stories. And I challenge each of you to invite 2 friends to the next episode. Everybody that's on here, bring 2 people with you for next week. We want to grow this thing, man. We want this to be centered around you guys, whatever you want to talk about, whatever you want to hear about, because we don't have a script that we just have to stick to. We can always deviate and and answer your questions or whatnot. But we appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much, and we love y'all, and we look forward to this thing taking off, man.
Oh yeah, how they find you on social media, real quick? I know they want to follow y'all.
Well, on Facebook, I'm Chris K. James Senior on Facebook. You'll see, is that the one? No, that's Twitter when I'm on the podium. On Twitter, I'm Coach Chris James. At Coach Chris James on Twitter, and on Facebook, I am Chris K. James Senior. On Instagram, I hardly post on there, so I really can't.
I don't post anything on Instagram.
Just post your show stuff.
Yeah,
Facebook is where you'll find me, and you find me, man, and I can add you to our NCAA football groups.
Ooh.
We have those different groups, and we talk football and sports and basketball and everything 24/7. It's fun, man. I love people.
You're still on MySpace too, right?
Man, you know what I'm saying, man. MySpace, Black Planet. What's the college club?
Back page.
Oh man. Yeah.
The music. Go to your page, have the music playing in the background. I still have the old Little Wayne Hot Boys on my face. The blog is hot. The blog is hot.
All that. Yeah, you can just find me at Matt Caddell on Twitter and Matthew Caddell on Facebook. But fans, I'm not, like Chris said, find two friends and let's just talk ball. Let's just talk sports. Out here on the final whistle, I'm about to get me a whistle and start blowing it at the beginning.
I got my the final whistle blow and let you know it's over with. Blow it.
So we're getting these ideas. We're gonna make it happen. But thanks for tuning in.
I got my referee shirt, man. I can wear.
Bring it all out.
I'm gonna bring a challenge. I'm gonna throw a yellow flag, and I'm gonna throw it at how many penalties I want to call on Pete Golden's smart defense. But
you can throw penalties on people in the chat too if you want.
Oh my gosh!
So definitely next Tuesday we'll talk about these conference championship games that are coming up. We'll talk about the playoffs. The playoffs that are coming up, the bowl game matchups, recruiting, whatever you want to talk about. Basketball. Even Bama players in the pros, NBA, NFL. Hey, we're gonna cover.
Shout out to Josh Jacobs.
Yes, sir.
300 yards, baby.
Pay that man.
Shout out to
man, we got spam on here, man. My hot photo here. Lord.
Y'all know your show's made it. You're getting spammed by porn channels.
Oh Lord.
Hey, what about Jalen Hurts? Yeah, hey, make his case for the MVP. Do your thing, man.
Hurts.
But yeah. Hey, everybody, stay tuned to what we got going on with this channel. These guys are going to be with you every Tuesday night, same time. Bo Scarborough's show is going to start next week. It's going to be at 7:30 p.m. Central right here next Wednesday. So you definitely want to check that out. We got a lot going on. We'll even have a Sunday evening wrap-up show. We're going to be doing a lot of things. Y'all keep up with all of us. And like they said, y'all bring two friends next week. Fill this chat up. But that'll do it for us. Roll Tide, everybody.
Roll Tide.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.